Beagle has a business background and may or may not have overpaid some of your business taxes. We'll see.
We'll find out. Thank you, Senator. You know, here in Ohio, we have been working hard to make Ohio a jobs-friendly state, and what we're doing today is part of that. You know, this money, as others have said, doesn't belong in the state treasury. It belongs in our economy. This, to me, is a simple issue of fairness. And coming from the private sector and having my own business, and my wife owns a business, my brother owns a business, I see this as a customer service issue too. All across the state, when businesses identify process problems or customer service problems, they work hard to get it fixed, they get it fixed quickly, and get it fixed permanently, all for the benefit of the customer. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. And we're fortunate to have a governor and a commissioner who've done the right thing and started to return the overpayments to the taxpayers. But by doing this legislatively, we're making this law a permanent piece of our Ohio Revised Code. And we're telling Ohioans that part of our mission in serving them is to ensure that we believe that the state should always be fair and honest with them. And this is a business-friendly bill, it is a jobs-friendly bill, and I'm proud to stand with my colleagues and the administration in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Beagle. Thank you for all of you being here today. Are there any questions for the sponsors? Yes, ma'am.
Forgive me, I had a battery crisis there for a second. I just want to make sure, is this going to refund money, cash money, or is it going to be all credits on future payments, or can you just clarify that for me?
Commissioner?
Senator, it's both. It's both. Much of it will be just cash directly sent to the taxpayer. In some cases, it will be credited over if it's still an active business. And part of this bill is to give us the tools to be able to do that more efficiently. So it's really a little both. We've already reduced, I think we've returned, I think I mentioned, about $11 million of the original 13 that we identified in CAT tax, and we've distributed, about 6 or 7 million, I think, out of the other tax types. So we're about, 17, 18 million, something like that, so far, that actually going back to the taxpayers.
Joe, while you're up there, I was going to ask, you kind of mentioned history, and I'm a little unclear. How long does this really go back? Are you able to say?
No, I'm not. We know that the tax system that it's called ITAS, that several taxes kind of combined in one system, was developed in the late 90s. And so it's at least that old. It's at least that old. I'm told that the older system, even older than that, actually had some carryovers that came into that system in the 90s as well. So I don't really know how far back that goes, but it's been, as a kind of a fundamental, unwritten policy, if you will, the office has been going on for a long time.
And so over that period of time, I heard someone say that the money, if not claimed, lapses after 4 years.
Yes.
So after, I would assume, hundreds of millions have gone unclaimed and lapsed because people weren't notified of it over time?
I don't know if I put a number on it because there really is no way of telling.
Okay.
But no, undoubtedly, there are those who have fallen out of statute over the years and never got their money back, and no one ever told them.
And where has the money gone when it has lapsed? Does it just go into the general fund? Okay.
First found out about this about a year ago. I was just wondering, has anyone at the tax department been punished or sanctioned or some way for this practice?
Let me separate two things. One, in terms of the underlying process, there was no law broken. In other words, I know it's amazing, but technically they weren't breaking the law by not notifying taxpayers. As was just mentioned, and this is not atypical in other states, that notices aren't sent out. So technically, no one was breaking the law in that, because that, again, the law doesn't require the tax department to notify anybody, businesses of the overpayment. So in that respect, the answer is no. There's another aspect of this whole bigger story, which does have a nastier piece to it. And that was in 2009, if you read the Inspector General's report. In 2009, a decision had been made at that time to not issue some refunds and calculate interest. in the view of the, I'm not an attorney, but in the view of the Attorney General, that is a violation of law. And that has been referred to the county prosecutor. So there's a piece that's sort of in this bigger umbrella that does have potentially a criminal aspect to it. But the underlying process and procedures that have been followed in the tax department for all these decades, technically we're not violating the law. We're going to fix that.
I'm sorry, you lost me there with the 2009 Inspector General. What happened then that?
When the Inspector General's report came out, about 2 months ago, whatever it was, what he discovered, what he reported was that in 2009, there was a decision had been made within the tax department to discontinue sending out certain refunds. And also a decision was made, according to the report, to not calculate interest, not add interest to the refunds that were being made. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but that's not legal. When most of this that we're talking about, or as was mentioned before, people are just unaware that they overpay their taxes, and that's the underlying issue. But there was a subset within this that tax refund requests had in fact been made, and they didn't issue them. And sometimes when they issued them, they didn't calculate interest.